The U.S. is entering multiple bilateral trade agreements with the world's largest economies. Will the entire international trade system change with it?
所以他现在做的就是要一个重塑世界贸易格局，重塑美国的对外贸易、经济甚至战略。
Is the U.S. economy strong enough to hold up against the stress from the trade war?
Because there's an actual fundamental change in the corporate tax code, I expect to see sustained growth.
Is President Trump's maximum pressure strategy against China working?
那么，所以这些都说明，中国如果要是跟美国进行那种所谓以牙还牙的贸易对抗战，那么中国呢将会输得很惨。
What happens if the World Trade Organization gets marginalized?
Welcome to Zooming In. I'm Simone Gao. The U.S. gross domestic product, GDP, grew at a solid 4.1% for the second quarter. The forecast for the third quarter growth is 4.4%. These are spectacular figures, especially against the backdrop of the trade war, which also took a drastic turn last week, when the U.S. and EU agreed to work towards zero tariffs. Although more things still need to be worked out between the U.S. and EU, a new opportunity most people did not see coming from a nasty trade conflict might have emerged. That is, the birth of a new set of trade rules, a freer market, a higher standard for intellectual property rights protection, and frankly, a new world trade order. Under this order, bilateral trade relations between major world economies might replace multilateral trade organizations. Also under this new order, America will assume a new role, a role that will allow this country to negotiate from a point of strength. For a long time, the American elites have accepted the perception that America is in a long-term decline. China will be the next superpower. That perception might be proven wrong in the near future. Make America great again, after all, may not be just a slogan. In this episode, we'll explore how all of these changes came about.
The zero tariff agreement between the U.S. and the EU last month is the latest in a series of global trade negotiations favoring freer trade. A week earlier, Japan and the EU signed a trade deal that will eliminate nearly all tariffs. The United States, Canada, and Mexico are likely to update the North American Free Trade Agreement soon, and the U.S. and Japan are also likely to sign a free trade agreement. If you consider the European Union as one unit, it surpasses America to be the largest economy in the world. The United States and Europe combined amount for more than half of the world's economy. Japan is the third largest economy, and Canada is number 10. According to Chinese senior political commentator Wen Zhao, when the U.S. signs bilateral trade agreements with the world's biggest economies, the international trade system will change significantly. The old WTO-centered system, which China has been relying on for accessing foreign markets and attracting foreign investment, will likely be marginalized. More importantly, the members of the new system are free market economies that fundamentally agree on a set of rules that value capitalism, openness, and fairness. But the story doesn't end there. Last week, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced the U.S. will invest $113 million in the Indo-Pacific region.
I speak for President Trump when I say every nation and business can have confidence that the United States will continue to create the conditions for mutual prosperity in a free and open Indo-Pacific. It is clearly in America's strategic interest to deepen engagement in the region. More than 1/3 of the global population is there. 4 of the world's 6 largest economies are there as well, in China, Japan, and India, and of course, the United States.
The definition of Indo-Pacific does not include the United States mainland. Only Hawaii is included. It comprises the tropical waters of the Indian Ocean, the Western and Central Pacific Ocean, and the seas that connect them near Indonesia. The inclusion of the U.S. in the Indo-Pacific region is strategic. Mike Pompeo and Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross both contrasted the Indo-Pacific investment to China's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. The BRI's road refers to the ocean-going maritime Silk Road that starts from China's southeast coastal city, Chenzhou, via the southwest Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean, and it goes all the way to Southeast Asia, India, and Europe. It largely overlaps with America's new Indo-Pacific Investment Program. The Belt and Road Initiative has been criticized for dominating and seizing resources from the countries it invests in. In contrast to the Belt and Road Initiative, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo stressed that the U.S. will help enhance security and freedom in the Indo-Pacific region.
We stand ready to enhance the security of our partners and to assist them in developing their economies and societies in ways that ensure human dignity. We will help them. We'll help them keep their people free from coercion or great power domination.
At the Indo-Pacific Forum, Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross said, "There are more than one belt, and there's more than one road. There are many belts and many roads to Indo-Pacific." When President Trump exited the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, he was criticized for leaving an economic and power vacuum for China to take advantage of. But the newest Indo-Pacific investment might be an answer to that. The U.S. is not exiting the world stage. It's creating its own platform to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative. A day after the Indo-Pacific Initiative was announced, an editorial in Chinese state-run media warned the U.S. against imperialism and power games.
It started with President Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs, and now it seems like the world trade order is being reconstructed. Is this really President Trump's end goal? I had a discussion with former Peking University professor of economics, David Xia. 最近，美国和欧盟还有日本、加拿大、墨西哥都签署了，或者是打算签署双边或者是三边的贸易协定。那您觉得，美国它在有意的打破原来的，比如说像以 WTO 为样板的这种多边贸易体系的格局，建立一种新的贸易体系格局吗？如果是这样的，他为什么要这样做呢？会有什么样的影响呢
？Trump 在竞选期间就明确地表示，全球化并没有给美国带来真正的利益。贸易自由化帮助了一些发展中国家，尤其是对中国极其的有利，但是对美国来说却遭受了重大的损失。他估计一年美国就要损失在贸易方面的损失，加上知识产权保护方面受到的损失，大概是8000亿美元。所以呢，他在竞选期间就说，他一旦当选总统，要对这个问题进行校正。所以以往的那些贸易框架，无论是单边协议还是多边协议，还有包括世界贸易组织这个构架，对于美国来说，其实有很多的这种从政治上来讲是正确，但是呢，从实际效果上来讲非常糟糕。所以他现在做的就是要一个重塑世界贸易格局，重塑美国的对外贸易、经济甚至战略。他现在这一步一步走的是非常的明显，而且非常的确定。那我们看到过去 NAFTA， 也就是美国跟加拿大、墨西哥之间的北美贸易区，它首先要废除。在这种废除的威胁之下呢，加拿大和墨西哥不得不做出让步，愿意就这个有些的重新谈判条件进行协商。这个呢，就是有可能形成一个新的，虽然框架还是原来的框架，但是它的内容和它的具体的情况是跟以前大不相同。另外，跟欧盟和日本也都是在不断的谈判和协商之中形成新的贸易协定。那么跟日本的之间的贸易，我们知道在80年代、90年代都有日美贸易摩擦，也有贸易战。那么今天呢，日本愿意呢在很多方面跟美国呢进行重新谈判，所以呢这方面呢也将有相当大的进展，已经体现出来很多方面。所以如果要是讲一旦美国跟这最主要的几个经济贸易体能够达成一些比较好的协议，尤其是欧盟和日本，那么也就是说可以重塑世界贸易格局，那么 WTO 的那个框架作用基本上就可以废止。
如果世界贸易组织被边缘化，那对中国会产生什么样的影响呢
？WTO 中国是费了13年时间加入 WTO，在2001年加入的时候， 当时中国做出了很多的承诺，说这个当时的宽限期是5年啊，那么在5年之内呢，要完成所有没有满足的条件。但是呢，现在17年过去了，中国的这个承诺的东西到今天都还没有完全兑现，甚至大部分没有兑现。所以现在呢，从今年开始，中国陆续的开始出台政策。那么最近我们刚刚看到中国扩大了这个外国投资在中国的这样的一个范围条件，但是呢，我认为这个来得太晚，已经错失了最好的时机。如果是在17年前一步一步的向前推进，那么中国的这个贸易自由化和市场化呢，就会取得很大的进展。虽然在中共的领导下，制度没有根本的变革，不可能达到完全的市场化，也不可能达到完全的贸易自由化，但是至少可以就是向前推进很多。
Engaging in a trade war while reconstructing world trade order is only made possible because of one important factor: a strong U.S. economy. So how will the U.S. economy do in the next few years? I spoke with Tom Del Beccaro, a tax expert who is the author of The Divided Era. This is what he has to say.
Yes, when I was assisting the administration last year with the passage of the tax reform bill, I predicted if it passed that we would see growth above 4% in the second and third quarters of this year. Certainly the 4.1% we saw for the second quarter has come true, and the Atlanta Fed says we're on track to closer to 5% for the third quarter. And the reason why this is occurring is there's been a fundamental restructuring. There's two types of tax reforms. One-time giveaways, which the United States did under the Ford administration and the Carter administration, which has very little effect. Smaller tax reductions, like which occurred under Bush 43, or the really large reforms that occurred under Coolidge in the 20s, under Kennedy in the 60s, and Reagan in the 80s. And we are closer. This reform package is much more like the major reform of Kennedy, Coolidge, and Reagan. And I expect long-term growth to occur, increases much better than what we've seen in the last 20 years. And we know this is possible in part because of the money that's coming home. President Trump talked about the fact that there's $5 trillion overseas that wouldn't come home because of double taxation. That's been removed. In the first quarter of 2018, over $300 billion came home. That's a marked contrast from the first quarter of the year before when it was only 30. That kind of stimulus alone, that's true stimulus, would increase growth in the economy. But because there's an actual fundamental change in the corporate tax code, I expect to see sustained growth, barring some sort of international security incident or calamity. I expect long-term growth.
Coming up, is the World Trade Organization dead, and how would it impact China? Six days after the U.S. and the EU announced they will work towards zero tariffs, President Trump indicated he's planning to increase tariffs on the $200 billion of Chinese goods from 10% to 25%. The new tariff increase could affect fish, petroleum, chemicals, handbags. But a final decision would be made before September. Beijing responded 2 days later by threatening to slap levies on $60 billion of U.S. products if Washington moves ahead with its tariffs increase. Why did President Trump move so quickly? On top of China's refusal to acknowledge intellectual property theft and forceful transfer of technologies, there are many other possible reasons, including trying to ally with Europe against the U.S. renminbi's sharp depreciation, China's possible manipulation of soybean prices, and China's regulatory hurdles that undermine business practices of U.S. firms. Whatever the reason, this new tariff increase reveals Trump's overall strategy toward the U.S.-China trade war: maximum pressure. On the same day, President Trump announced possible tariff increases. The U.S. Senate approved a defense policy bill by 86-10 that tightens U.S. national security reviews of Chinese corporate deals and revamps export controls over which U.S. technologies can be sent abroad. The bill also restricts Beijing in areas ranging from cultural activities to military exercises. The same bill passed in the House a week earlier and is expected to be signed into law by the president.
Is President Trump exerting maximum pressure on China, and will it work? Here's David Xia again. 川普总统在这周宣布，他打算把对中国加增的2000亿美元商品的关税从10%上调到25%。同时呢，美国参议院又通过了7000亿美元的国防授权法案，这对中共来说也是一个很大的震慑。那您觉得，川普的对中国的这种最大压力的策略会成功吗？中国接下来还会如何走呢？
我觉得现在川普这个招招紧逼，而且不给中国喘息的机会。所以呢，虽然前面中国有一些招数，说是要让人民币贬值10%，来应对这样的一个后果，但实际上美国又出了这样一个新招，就是关税提高到25%，那么中国很难再大幅度的贬低人民币。那么有人算了一下，如果要是讲人民币贬值到50%或者40%以上，才有可能抵消这些方面的影响。那样的话，人民币贬值严重的话，会带来严重的通货膨胀，给中国国内各个方面经济造成压力和这个负面的后果。所以这些呢，都是应当加以正视的。所以我觉得中国在这一方面没有太多的应该说没有太多的好招数来可以使用的。中美贸易战一般人都会认为这只是这个贸易本身的这种争斗，或者主要目的是为了利益。但实际上呢，我们要看到的这个利益不仅仅是经济和贸易的利益。在川普眼中，美国利益优先，美国利益第一，它实际上包含了美国要成为伟大的国度，继续引领世界。在他年轻时候的梦想，他的偶像就是里根总统。里根总统在冷战时期可以遏制苏联，那么现在他在我看来是一次新冷战，就旧的冷战可能是已经基本上终结，但是现在新的冷战开始。那么新的冷战中呢，美国要跟现在新的对手中国进行根本性的较量，所以这一点呢，我觉得他不是仅仅看的贸易利益本身，他看到的是更加长远的美国的国家利益和安全。
Coming up, manufacturers move production out of China amidst trade war tensions. Amid the U.S.-China trade war, overseas manufacturers are starting to move their production lines out of China. Among them are Taiwanese firms that are crucial players in the global supply chain. According to Bloomberg, Delta Electronics Inc., which supplies power components to Apple Inc., is making a $2.14 billion offer to buy out the Thai affiliate, a precursor to expanding production there. Mary Electronics Company, which makes headphones for companies like Bose, may also move some of its production to Thailand from China, depending on how the trade conflict pans out. The reason for the relocation is mainly wage increase. The trend started a few years ago and has been accelerating by the U.S.-China trade war. iPhone assembler Foxconn remains in China for now, but the Taiwan manufacturer just opened its first U.S. factory in June, according to CBS News in Washington. This would be its first plant outside of Asia.
By opening a factory in the U.S., Foxconn's owner Ted Guo is definitely putting his apples in two baskets to minimize risks. Just how much cushion does the Chinese economy have to resist the negative impact from the trade war? This is what Professor Xia has to say. 您认为中国现在的宏观经济形势怎么样？它有多厚的底子能和美国继续拼下去呢？
中国要想跟美国进行抗衡，在经济贸易方面，无论是从贸易产品的结构和这个升级的档次，还有从技术领先的条件来讲，都是差距甚大，不是3年5年能赶上的。比如说我们前一段时间看到的就是制裁中芯公司。由于不提供芯片，所以中国的很多的重要产业都受到严重的影响和制约。所以呢，中国在这个方面就立马现了原形，没有办法敢跟美国进行叫板。那么还有一些高技术领域，包括军事领域，那是军事领域当然是不允许转让的。但是呢，这些年来中国也是持续的在偷窃这方面的技术，包括最先进的战斗机。所以现在美国呢，不但是在贸易上制裁中国，而且在技术上 尤其是高技术和军事技术方面，要对中国呢进行严加的防范。然后讲到这个经济上的能力，我们知道这个美国对贸易的依存度并不是像中国那么高美国的贸易依存度只有12%左右，而中国的贸易依存度高达33.6%。也就是说，如果没有跟中国之间的贸易，美国不会伤筋动骨；而没有跟美国的贸易，中国呢在经济发展上，在很多方面会遇到比较大的困难包括外汇储备，因为我们知道这个外汇储备的主要来源是这个出口贸易。当中国的几乎所有的商品都受到这种高关税的壁垒，那么在这种情况下呢，中国的这个外汇来源受到了很大的影响。外汇储备现在目前已经从原来的4万多亿美元下滑到2万多亿，但实际上根据内部人士的消息，实际上能够应对的可能只有少数的1万多亿。那么所以这些都说明，中国如果要是跟美国进行那种所谓以牙还牙的贸易对抗战，那么中国呢将会输得很惨。
On August 3rd, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Mike Pompeo met at the Asian Foreign Ministers meeting in Singapore. Wang said the two countries reached an agreement on the issue of how to resolve the current trade dispute. He said Pompeo agreed with him that America does not want to see the trade war continue. What does that mean? Is it a face-saving way to say China plans to concede? We won't draw that conclusion yet, but a simple fact comes to mind. China's export business has an average profit rate less than 2%. What does a 25% tariff mean to them? Stay tuned. Zooming in with Simone Gao will bring you the unique perspective on the ongoing trade war. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.